when you was working for the Ariano Felix cartel, was most of the conflict and violence between Chapo and the Sinaloa cartel and the Ariano brothers and their cartel in Tijuana? Was that like majority of all
Well,
the conflict?
from my understanding, and like I said, I wasn't, I worked for David, but I ran with Ramon. I did security detail for Ramon, and I did security detail for Benjamin. I know them all. I met them all, you know what I mean? And I wasn't privy to all the details of our allies, but I do know that they were beefing with Amado Carrillo, the Lord of the Skies, and I know they were beefing with Chapo Guzman, because we were offered $1 million if we can kill the man. I'll give you $1 million in a house wherever you want, you know what I'm saying? In Mexico. We'll build it for you, you know? And so I knew that those two were considered enemies, and we were sent out to go smoke them. Real famous incident right there in Guadalajara airport. They killed a cardinal by mistake. We had gotten intel stating that Chapo was going to be there. And it wasn't bad intel. It was just wrong place, wrong time. You know what I mean? And somebody seeing the entourage that was with the cardinal mistakenly thought it was Chapo's crew. And somebody said, go over the radio, and they went. And they laid it down. And they ended up killing the cardinal from Catholic Church, which just brought international heat from the Vatican all the way to every Catholic country in the world.
Now, the name of that cardinal that was killed back in '93, that's Juan Jesus Posados Ocampo, and that pretty much brought a lot of heat
Absolutely.
to the Ariano Felix cartel.
Absolutely.
When you cooperated with the U.S. government, didn't some of the information that you had to provide was used to either arrest or investigate or implicate other members of the cartel?
Yes, it was, and I'll tell you why. Because by me implicating myself and confessing all the murders that I had committed, it showed that my actions were a furtherance of the Ariana cartel. So the indictment was based on the Ariana Felix cartel. They weren't even in custody then. The indictments were barely being built, and they had already had information before I was arrested. And then after I fell, a lot of other ones, Kitty Paez fell, Chuy Labras fell, even Javier Ariano Felix fell, and they cooperated, you know what I mean? So they were gathering this information to build a big indictment against the AFO. And they did. They gathered enough information to build a big indictment, and then when they finally got a hold of Benjamin in Mexico, they were able to extradite him to the United States to prosecute him on. I never sat in the courtroom and testified against anybody. I only did grand juries. I never seen Benjamin in the court. I never seen anybody in the courtroom. I went to grand juries, and it was just me telling them what I had done. You know what I mean? And in the course of that, one of the agents and I became friends, Steve Duncan, and so we stayed in touch. And he was the one that kept me abreast of everything that was going on, all the arrests that were being made, when my time cut was gonna come, and what was going on. And I'll be real with you. You can talk to the prosecutor, you can talk to these agents. In the beginning, I'm like, I'm not worried about time cut. I'm ready to spend the rest of my life in here. I know the things that I've done. I'll even take the death penalty if I have to. I wasn't proud of what I was doing. It didn't give me a thrill. I wasn't out to, taste the blood. I was just doing what I was obligated to do. I was fulfilling my duties, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to be the one on the stretcher, you know what I'm saying? So, when I walked away, it was just, I was tired, man. I was tired of everything. Like I said, I had just got into the MA, and there was some things that were brought to me as a new MA member that I didn't agree with. They wanted me to go out and hit other brothers. And they're asking me, because they knew what I was doing for the Arianos. They're like, hey, bro, when you get out, we need you to hook up with this homie. They're going to smoke this homie. And I'm like, where's the unity? Where's the carnal? Where's the camaraderie? Where is the love, man? Because when I was told the rules, the clique comes first before everything. And one brother cannot politic against another brother. But yet here I am being asked to smoke other brothers. And I didn't feel comfortable with that. I just walked away from the Ariano Felix card. And I told my padrino what was going on and why I walked away from the Arianos. He says, bro, you don't know them nothing. He says, all the work you put in for them, you don't owe them shit. If anything, they still owe you. Because they were hearing from it. Bat was getting at him. David was getting at him. They were hearing what was going on down there. And so they knew. There's even an indictment with Widow Sherm where he's got written letters, and they're confiscating his letter because the guy's real. He likes to put his business out there. So he's writing letters saying, yeah, we got homies down south that are working for the Sinaloa cartel, and my name came up in the indictment. It's in the actual indictment. You know what I mean? And so it was kind of funny, man, because everything that you grew up believing in was just. Once you got to the other side, man, you realize it wasn't real. When I quit the Arellano Phillips cartel, it was the day they brought my child home to me. That day she brought my child home, that's the day I walked away from the cartel. David knew, I told him. And he says, well, go ahead, take a month off. I'll hit you up when we need you, and maybe we can find something for you on the other side. All right, bro, gracias. I walked away. The day I quit everything, I had another child coming on the way. And I was ready to make that decision, like, what are you going to do, bro? You're going to do this for the rest of your life and never get to see you hold your child in your arm? I mean, I deserved it. I knew what I had done. I had taken lives. I knew what I had done. I have to live with that every day to this day. To this day, I have to live with that. And it's not easy on me, you know what I'm saying? But I deal with it, and I'm learning to deal with it a lot better. I've got a lot of good people around me, support crew that, guide me through it, man. It gets overwhelming sometimes. You know what I mean? I've gotten high a few times because I just wanted to wash everything out. But I ended up paying for it. I got violated. I just did a 15-month violation. You know what I mean? 16-month violation for a dirty test of cocaine. Sometimes you want to wash them demons out your head. So, you just get high and you forget about everything. You know what I mean? But the reason I wrote the book is because I wanted my story to be out there. And my hopes was that somebody would read that book and say, you know what, man, this dude paid a lot. He spent 40 years in and out of prison, was on, parole, probation his whole life. His family didn't see his brothers and sisters grow up, didn't see his own children grow up. His mother and father was gone from them for all them years, you know what I'm saying? And I still live with the heavy burden of the lives I've taken. Yeah, I do have a conscience, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I did walk away, because I do have a conscience, And so I wrote the book. I started doing conferences. I started going to juvenile halls. I started speaking at church groups. And just trying to do give back as much as I can, because I can never give back the lives that I've taken. So I'm trying to do it through this podcast. A YouTube channel where I'm reading my book for Loaded News. I'm doing all these things as a way of making amends of, you know what I mean? I can never get atonement. Atonement is full forgiveness. You can't forgive me for the things I've done, and I don't expect anybody to forgive me. But if I can enlighten somebody else to where they don't make the same mistakes that I did, or they don't go down the same path that I did, or if they can understand the consequences of the things that I did, the lives that I affected, not only mine, not only my victims, but my families as well. And if I can turn somebody around from that, then I feel satisfied. I'm grateful, even if it's just one person, you know what I mean? Will I live with the stigma of being a snitch and a rat the rest of my life? Absolutely. Don't bother me none, because I know why I walked away from that, and I'm just trying to do the best I can to give something back. I've already taken enough, you know what I mean? I've taken 8 lives plus, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that I don't think anybody that's truly human, unless you just a monster to begin with and you get the thrill of killing, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody could go through what I've been through and say they don't have a conscience, you know what I mean? And say that they're good with it. I'm not good with it.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Like and comment below to give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related videos to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description and listen to our weekly podcast, The Gangster Chronicles, every Thursday. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.